Yo, what's good, Dub Nation? Sit down right now, drop everything, because what Shams Charania just reported at 6:47 a.m. Pacific time this morning, literally waking up the entire Bay Area with a bombshell push notification, is the biggest Golden State Warriors news since the 2016 signing of Kevin Durant. And I mean it. Shams Charania went live on his X account at 6:47 a.m. Pacific with 3 separate sources confirming an absolutely massive trade. Domantas Sabonis, 3-time NBA All-Star, 2-time third-team All-NBA selection, the best passing big man in the entire NBA when healthy, has been traded to the Golden State Warriors. Yes, Domantas Sabonis in a Golden State Warriors uniform, sharing the front court with Draymond Green, setting screens for Stephen Curry, running the pick and roll with Brandon Podziemski. And Mike Dunleavy pulled off this trade after weeks of quiet negotiations with Sacramento's new GM Scott Perry that everyone in the NBA world had assumed were dead. Let me walk you through every single detail, because if you're a Warriors fan, this is the trade that officially opened Stephen Curry's last championship window. Everything you thought about the 2026-27 Warriors, throw it away. This changes everything. Real quick, Button pushes this video to every Warriors fan across America and the Bay Area. Smash it right now. 1 second. Massive impact for the channel. Every single like matters. Hit it now. Here's exactly what Shams Charania posted on his X account at 6:47 a.m. Pacific time. And I'm gonna give you the direct quote verbatim because every single word matters. Shams tweeted with his signature lightning bolt emoji. Breaking, Golden State Warriors and Sacramento Kings have agreed on a blockbuster trade sending Domantas Sabonis to Golden State, sources tell ESPN. Deal details, Warriors receive Domantas Sabonis. Kings receive Andrew Wiggins, Moses Moody, Golden State's 2028 unprotected first-round pick, 2030 top 4 protected first-round pick, and a 2029 pick swap. The framework was finalized last night at approximately 11:15 p.m. Pacific time, following 6 weeks of negotiations between Warriors GM Mike Dunleavy Jr. and Kings president of basketball operations Scott Perry. Sabonis has been informed and is fully committed to reporting to Warriors training camp on schedule. My jaw hit the floor, because this trade, this specific framework, is exactly what Warriors fans have been begging Mike Dunleavy to pull off for the last 2 years. A legitimate all-star frontcourt piece to pair with Stephen Curry in what everyone knows is his last championship window, and Mike Dunleavy, who has been publicly criticized all summer for being too passive with the roster, just delivered the biggest move of his career. Within 90 seconds of Shams' tweet going live, Adrian Wojnarowski's proteges at ESPN, Ohm Youngmisuk and Anthony Slater, both independently confirmed the trade with their own sources. That's triple confirmation from ESPN's most connected NBA insiders within 90 seconds. This is the real deal. Domantas Sabonis is a Warrior. Let me contextualize this trade for you because you have to understand the full weight of what just happened. The Sacramento Kings finished the 2025-26 season 22-60. That's the second worst record in the entire Western Conference. Their attempts to trade Sabonis at the February 2026 trade deadline fell apart when talks with the Toronto Raptors couldn't close due to salary matching issues involving Jakob Poeltl's contract. Then the summer trade market for Sabonis was surprisingly quiet, and with previous talks with the Charlotte Hornets, Detroit Pistons, and Boston Celtics all fizzling out. Meanwhile, the Sacramento Kings under new GM Scott Perry have been publicly patient, refusing to trade Sabonis just to make a move. Waiting for the right package. That right package finally came from the Golden State Warriors. And the reason it worked is what Mike Dunleavy included in the deal. 2 real NBA players in Andrew Wiggins and Moses Moody, plus 3 draft-related assets. That's the kind of player return, not just picks framework that Sacramento had been publicly demanding all summer. Now let me tell you why this is such a masterful trade for the Golden State Warriors. Because the roster around Stephen Curry has been the biggest concern for the last 3 years. Curry is 38 years old. He is entering what everyone acknowledges is the final competitive window of his generational career. He needs elite talent around him. He needs a legitimate second star. And with Klay Thompson gone to Dallas in 2024, with Kevin Durant long gone since 2019, And with Jimmy Butler having been acquired, but with questionable long-term health, the Warriors have been missing an elite frontcourt anchor for years. That is exactly what Domantas Sabonis provides. When healthy, Sabonis averaged 19.2 points, 13.1 rebounds, and 6.9 assists in the 3 seasons before his injury year. He shot 59% from the field. He is one of the best offensive centers of the modern era, and now he's paired with Stephen Curry in the Steve Kerr motion offense. That is a match made in basketball heaven. Think about how Sabonis fits with Curry's game. Stephen Curry is the greatest shooter in NBA history. Every defense in the league game plans specifically to stop him. Double teams, blitzes, hard hedges, ice coverage, everything. And what a Steve Kerr offense with Sabonis at the 5 gives Curry is a short roll passing genius who can exploit those defenses instantly. When Curry gets doubled coming off a Sabonis screen, Sabonis catches the ball at the elbow and immediately finds the open cutter or the open shooter. That's the exact play type that generated wide open Klay Thompson threes for years during the dynasty. Sabonis brings that back with even better passing skills than Draymond Green. And Sabonis' presence doesn't just help Curry, it helps everyone. Brandon Podziemski gets easier cutting opportunities, Buddy Hield gets more wide open threes. Jimmy Butler gets to attack the paint against defenses focused on Sabonis in the pick and roll. Draymond Green, even at 36 years old, gets to play more of a defensive focused role knowing the offense has multiple hubs. This trade elevates every Warriors player's basketball value. That's what happens when you add an elite offensive fulcrum in his prime years to a team full of shooters and cutters. The Kings side of this trade also makes strategic sense. Andrew Wiggins is 30 years old on a 2-year $56 million contract that has $28 million in cap flexibility. He's a proven 20-point scorer who won a championship with Golden State in 2022. He can be a bridge veteran for the Kings' rebuild alongside their young players. Moses Moody is 24 years old on a rookie extension paying him $12 million per year through 2028. He's a defensive wing with 3-point shooting who fits any modern roster, and the 3 future draft assets give Sacramento the long-term equity to potentially find their next franchise player. Both teams win this trade. The Stephen A. Smith reaction on First Take this morning was volcanic because Stephen A. has been vocal all summer about the Warriors needing to make a major move. He said, on the record at 7 to 12 a.m. Eastern time this morning, Mike Dunleavy just saved his job. Mike Dunleavy just saved his entire tenure. This is the trade that Stephen Curry deserved. This is the trade the Warriors fan base deserved. Domantas Sabonis paired with Stephen Curry in Steve Kerr's motion offense is one of the deadliest offensive combinations in the entire NBA. That team just went from a 6 seed to a 3 seed in the Western Conference immediately. And if Jimmy Butler stays healthy for 65 games, the Golden State Warriors are back in the mix for a legitimate championship. Not just a play-in team, not just a first-round exit team, a real championship contender. I said this needed to happen. Mike Dunleavy did it. Full credit to him. That is Stephen A. Smith publicly praising Mike Dunleavy on live television. That has rarely happened in Dunleavy's tenure as GM. And it tells you everything about how significant this trade is for the Warriors franchise. This is the move Bay Area fans have been begging for. And Dunleavy delivered. Let me tell you what Steve Kerr said about the trade, because Kerr, always the professional coach, held an impromptu press conference at Chase Center at 8:30 a.m. Pacific this morning, and Kerr's words were beautiful. He said, "I've spent my entire coaching career studying great offensive centers. I studied Bill Russell's passing. I studied Bill Walton's court vision. I studied Nikola Jokic's brilliance. Domantas Sabonis, when he's healthy, plays with that same generational level offensive IQ from the center position. And to be able to pair him with Stephen Curry, the greatest shooter of all time, is genuinely one of the most exciting basketball challenges of my entire career. I can already visualize the offensive sets we're going to run. I already know the playbook we're going to expand. This is going to be really fun basketball to watch. And Warriors fans deserve to be excited today. This is a massive moment for our franchise." That was class from Steve Kerr, and it reflects the excitement around the Warriors organization this morning. Because when Steve Kerr, the 4-time NBA champion coach, publicly says a trade is one of the most exciting basketball challenges of my entire career, that tells you the on-court potential is real. Now let me address the concerns, because I always want to give you both sides. Concern 1, Sabonis' health. He played only 19 games last season. He had major left meniscus surgery in February 2026. Coming back from that surgery in October 2026. Is he going to be able to play 82 games? That's a legitimate question. The good news is that Sabonis had a full offseason to rehab. He's shown up to Kings training camp last month before the trade in what teammates described as the best physical shape of his life. But any 30-year-old center coming off major knee surgery is a health risk. Golden State is betting his knee holds up. Concern 2, the defensive pairing with Draymond Green. Draymond is 36 years old. His defensive skills have declined. Sabonis is not a rim protector, so the Warriors are essentially trading defensive elite play at the 5, which they never really had after Bogut left, for offensive fireworks. The Warriors' defense has slipped to 15th in the NBA last season. Adding Sabonis doesn't fix that. And in the modern NBA, where you need to switch on the perimeter and protect the rim, the Warriors' defense is going to be a real concern in playoff series against athletic teams. Concern 3, the draft picks Golden State gave up. Losing an unprotected 2028 first-round pick is a big deal. If Curry retires, or Butler gets injured, or the roster falls apart, that pick could be top 10. Mike Dunleavy is betting the future on the next 2 seasons. If they don't win a championship in that window, the Warriors are going to be paying the price of these picks for years. But you know what? Curry is 38 years old. This is the moment for the Warriors to make aggressive moves. This is the moment to ADD, not to preserve. Mike Dunleavy just made the aggressive move his fan base and his franchise player have been demanding. If it doesn't work, nobody can say he didn't try. If it does work, the Warriors are back in the NBA Finals for the first time since 2022. Dub Nation, I need your energy in the comments right now. Was Domantas Sabonis worth the 2 first-round picks? Do you think his knee will hold up for 82 games? Is Steve Kerr's motion offense going to make Sabonis look better than he did in Sacramento? And the biggest question, with Sabonis joining Curry, Butler, Draymond, and Podziemski, are the Warriors legitimate championship contenders in 2026-27? Drop your prediction below, smash that like, subscribe, ring that bell for max notifications. Strength in numbers, Dub Nation forever.